Well, on
If I'm
most
not
days.
mistaken, we've yet to discuss the tale of the giant Bergelmere.
Oh yeah, I remember his shrine. It looked happier than the other ones. Mostly.
It begins in an ocean of blood.
Finally, a story worth hearing.
If you remember, Ymir, the first giant, was fatally stabbed by Odin. It's in his blood our story starts. Ymir's magical guts poured out in a torrent so violent it threatened to flood all of creation. The Jotnar were unprepared, as the very last of them were washed away in the endless tide. Not just Ymir, but all of giant kind faced extinction. And so would Odin's victory have been complete. But Ymir's kind did not all perish that day. Staying afloat in the hollowed husk of a tree, the frost giant Bergelmere endured, as did his lady wife. For weeks they sailed, until finally they came upon a new land. They called it Jotunheim. And there they would start anew. As father and mother, they would multiply exceedingly. And as king and queen, they worked to make Jotunheim a land where giants would know no master but themselves. Bergelmere never sought revenge for Odin's slaughter. His vengeance was to live and prosper. He died at peace, a legion of his kin to mourn him. He would ever be known as Bergelmere the Beloved.
Bergelmere the Beloved. Huh.
Bergelmere and his queen survived the flood of Ymir's blood and founded Jotunheim. They did not seek revenge, except to live and see his kind prosper. Bergelmere the Beloved. A happy ending.
I've never heard a story end that way. Not a true one, anyway.
You do, laddie.
You do. You do. I just thought I'd let that play out since that's one of the good things about this game as well. All Mimir's little stories and elaborations to all the lore we were finding.
How was your trip to Jotunheim?
Will you give him a little privacy? The kid just found out he's a giant. He doesn't need you interrogating him.
Bruh, you knew?
Oh, we knew Faye was the last guardian of the Jotnar left in Midgard. That's why we made her the axe. We hoped it could restore the balance of power.
After Thor went all berserk with our hammer.
Though in the end it seems she chose another path. She chose, well, you. Both of you. I suppose she figured that was the best chance for the giants to live on. And now, I suppose, that's up to you.
How about that? A young Jotun with us the whole time. And the son of Laufey, the just... I should have seen it before!
Let's get to it.
Retribution. Well, does have some decent perks actually. Though I think I still like the Valkyrie's Might the most. Of course, it's only good when it's an act. You know what? I guess this one's probably a little bit better then. You know, I don't really do that. I'm gonna fall in. This one probably benefits me the most, but I think we'll go ahead.
You better get too thirsty now.
Or at least I would. And needs more hack silver. Okay. Well, maybe I'll try to upgrade some more of these on a New Game Plus eventually, but that is... I guess that's it. Although, I'm surprised...
Well, see you next time you need something.
What about the helm? I've got a helm.
What's it gonna be this time?
Oh, I gotta sell it. Okay.
Okay, if that'll hold you for now.
Breakdown Esper. Oh, and that gives me Miss Echoes, huh? Interesting. Breakdown Niflheim. Huh.
Yeah, check back soon. Come on in, then. So much for peace and quiet.
Really? You don't want to say anything about that helm?
That's it?
Alright, fine, whatever. Making one detour before we go home, boy. I want to try and bother the witch.
Mimir, what did you call Mother? Laufey the Just? Did you know her?
I never had the pleasure. Laufey was a rumour in the halls of Asgard. A giantess warrior who thwarted many an Aesir god's plans. Freeing those who they would enslave, feeding those who they would starve, generally making a nuisance of herself in the most noble of ways. Thor was terribly frustrated he could never find her to fight. Once my imprisonment began, I could only wonder what became of her, and who she would turn out to be. Yours is quite a singular lineage, lad.
So Mom was Laufey the Just. She really was protecting people before she had me. They even knew of her in Asgard. I'm so proud of her. Too bad this isn't higher up.
Brothers, there's another thing I must let you know. From the time you were away in Jotunheim.
Well, tell us then.
It concerns Freya. She paid me a visit.
What did you tell her?
What little I know about where Odin may have kept her Valkyrie wings. It seems she's rather bent on reclaiming her warrior spirit. I'm afraid the cycle of vengeance may not be so easily broken.
While we were in Jotunheim, Freya found Mimir to ask where Odin might have kept her warrior spirit. That's a little scary.
Is it a good idea coming back here?
She's probably in there planning your demise, brother.
Or bringing Baldur back to life? Like she did you, Mimir.
Oh, I'm not alive, lad. I'm reanimated, sure. But make no mistake, I'm still quite dead. I'll never be what I once was. She won't want this for her son. Trust me.
That's a relief. Not the part about you being dead, but, you know.
Knock, knock, knock! Yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with this anymore.
Atreus, to me.
Okay, I'm
I'm
coming.
guessing no turtle either. It's still moderately nice out here. That stone is still here. I'm so surprised. Yep. Tree will forever remain grounded. Alright. We're done here. Let's go home, boy. thought there was a gate around here. Okay, guess I was wrong. Guess we have to go back down. Oh, that's right. All right. Time to go home.
Know any more stories, Mimir?
Of course, laddie, and yours for the asking. But I prefer the boat. In here is distracting.
Come on. There we go.
We're finally home. Feels like a lifetime ago.
Bit drafty, maybe. It's a right improvement over having tree bark in your tadger.
Well, before we go inside, I just want to check one thing. Because for some weird reason, the game was being so glitchy, it wouldn't let me do it. Oh, you know what? I bet you I know what's wrong. Oh. It really just won't be. Yeah, this is glitchy. That should be burning. Okay. Well, I guess either I got a glitched version of this, or I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Ending the game.
Time to rest.
I'm gonna sleep through winter.
That ladder has God mode on.
Okay, this'll do.
Sleep.
Way ahead of you.
Brother, you're late. Years later.
The ball!
I think it's quite certain he is. the biggest cock tease of this game. Ithor? Ithor. Well, that was God of War 4. And holy shit, once I finally got my rhythm back in how to play this game, it got fun again. And especially once I got my blades. Woo, boy! Oh. And damn, did I overpower myself, man. I mean, that's what happens when I take the side quest first before doing the main game. I just find all the shit, get too powerful, and... yeah, Boulder was nothing. He was fucking nothing, man. I mean, still fun and still challenging, having to figure out some of his patterns, but... god damn. But I loved the story. I love all the choreographs. I loved how Kratos and Atreus became a perfect fighting duo by the end. I mean, that was a beautiful fight scene with those two fighting together against Boulder. I mean, goddamn. And I love how they were able to make an old idea be refreshed, allowing Kratos, that for all intents and purposes has been nothing more than a powerful brute that we loved to play to beat up things, but was still kind of an anti-hero, or pretty much doing whatever he wanted to do to get his revenge, even if it means pretty much destroying the world in the process. But that's why I like the end of God of War 3, where he does briefly realize what he's done and gives humanity hope, instead of giving it back to Athena, giving a minor redemption. And then this game, number 4, is just nothing but a redemption arc, where he had to live with his past regrets and sins, try to rebuild from there after he met Faye, to have a son, and try to not fuck up again, while also not getting involved with gods, even though his curse is that he has to. Something is always going to come after him. That's just his curse, but thankfully he's finally learned to live with it, and makes sure to teach Atreus to not go down the same path, to end the cycle, so to speak, even if with certain people that's harder to do so. So yeah, I love the story with this one. The director, Carl something. I am forgetting the names, but everyone from Santa Monica Studios, and everybody else that worked on this game, the writing, the acting, all that, fantastic job. This absolutely breathed new life into God of War series, and while I'm a little bit pessimistic about a sequel to this, even though that was definitely sequel baked, since yeah, they haven't even fought most of the other gods yet. They didn't fight Thor. That was the cock tease right there. They still have to eventually fight Odin. They still have to eventually fight all the other gods that they haven't even shown yet. So I'm guessing they're saving that for the sequel. And then of course they've opened the door of them possibly going to other lands, like in Egypt and in Japan or anything like that, because of the mural with Tyr, the god of war of Norse, visiting other lands and their other god of wars with the other Signias and such. So that will be interesting. And of course with that little last mural that only Kratos saw, where apparently there's going to be a future where something happens to him and Atreus is going to be so traumatized that snakes will be coming out of his mouths or something like that, from an unknown baddie that's going to ruin their day. But yeah, this was a brilliant game. It took a while to get used to the controls. It took a while to get used to the fighting system, and I think my only gripe, and it's probably because I didn't utilize the 180-degree turn on the D-pad that's there, but I feel like the lock-on system isn't always reliable. Especially with the Valkyries, even though, again, they're fast and swift, so they kind of do break your lock, so that it's understandable. I guess I just kind of wish it was a little bit more reliable. But with that said, that's far beyond the worst thing, or that's probably the worst thing about the game, and that's like a very petty opinion there. Everything else, oh, I am so disappointed in myself that I took a frickin' year to get back to this after being Alpine. I don't know why I took a break that long. I missed out a lot, and I had to get spoiled. I couldn't wait to keep this like a first-time playthrough without getting spoiled by Jacksepticeye's run, by Gerard and Jesse Cox's run, and I would have said Game Grumps' run, but of course they stopped midway because they fucking suck when it comes to playing AAA games these days. I mean, I don't know, maybe since they've been doing streams lately, like finishing off Skyward Sword and finishing off Dead Rising 2, maybe they might use one of their user streams to maybe go back to God of War. Maybe he might get that. Maybe Aaron might get there in the game. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, this was a fun game. Can be stressful, but I certainly loved what was put here. And I am fingers crossed that if they do work on a sequel, that they somehow do a good sequel. Because, I mean, this was already emotionally impactful just for bringing up Kratos dealing with his remorse about past and not wanting that to be brought up to the boy, and the boy dealing with the loss of his mother and having to deal with a father that's sometimes emotionally crippled. But he doesn't realize why, but to him he just feels like he's being neglected. But then the whole building, it's going to be interesting how they can try to replicate that in a different way, because now we have a father and son duo who are now tight click, so they're going to have to do something. Bear McCreary, I keep forgetting this music is composed by Bear McCreary. Goddamn guy. Unfortunately, I still can only think that he's done the Walking Dead. I think it's him, the Walking Dead score. But then he's also done other things lately that I keep finding out. I'm pointing out whenever I see that name. But yeah. I wonder if Mimir's gonna be sticking around. I mean, years later. I mean, I think I heard his voice right at that end. I don't remember, but yeah. Oh. Yeah. Awesome game. Awesome game. Highly recommended. If you played God of War before and were starting to get very fatigued by it after the last PSN game in Ascension, it will be a slight departure from the formula, but it's worth it to play it. And especially if you were actually caring about the characters, especially Kratos' character development, this will probably make you care for him even more by that point. So, I guess the next game the next game on my list to beat that I haven't beaten yet, I guess is going to be Dust. And it'll be another new game again, because I'll play it from the PS4 instead of the PC this time. Though I could always play from the PC, it might even work better, but we'll see. I'll try PS4 since I got it on there already. And then, if worst case scenario, I'll do it on the PC or something, but yeah, that's another game I've got to beat. Got as far as like maybe the second boss, and then once again put that down. I don't know why. And then there's still Evil Within. I gotta finish that one because otherwise that one, and then I can finally play the second, even though I already know how that game is played now too. I watched Markiplier's gameplay of that, so I know what happens, but that doesn't deter anything, because I feel like the sequel definitely surpasses the first one, both in gameplay and story. At least, again, with Sebastian's character. And then, what else do I still need to finish? What other series have I started that I never finished? Stream-wise, anyways. Oh, I'll have to take a look at that. Take a look at that. And then eventually I will also start a new game too in the midst of all this. As a little while ago, I did finally get Event Horizon Dawn, I think is Horizon Dawn. That whole apocalyptic, everything's gone back to like the Stone Age, but there's mechanical dinosaurs maybe, or something. I'll remember the name. Something Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn. Thank you, Tyrick. Yeah, so I do have that. Now I'm gonna eventually start that too, but I want to try to get some of the other games out of the way. I guess I've got to finish Kingdom Hearts 3 as well. I've only beaten the Toy Story world. I haven't even continued onwards. I've got a friend who's kicking me in the ass for not beating that game already. He wants to talk about the ending. And I still haven't. And that one I am keeping myself away from spoilers because I want to keep that as a surprise. But of course I'm not streaming that. I just have to do it on my own. Well, eventually I'll take a look at all my catalogs of games and try to figure out what else I still gotta beat. I know there's a lot. I seem to have developed a very nasty habit of starting something and never finishing. Like my drawings and my writings. Except I am going to finish book 1 of HAL. I have made that absolutely clear. I'm dropping the ball, but I am not losing sight that that story is going to get finished so I can actually move on to book 2 and finally tell the other stories I've got in my head. So HAL book 1 and all these games are part of my resolution to finish shit. How long the credits are on this one. I don't know how much longer I've got. Music's great too. I love the music. It's too bad there's very little semblance from the other God of War ones. Except you can kind of hear in certain tones, like some of the old score somewhere in this one, but not a lot, and that's probably actually fine. It has to be its own beast, its own flavor. You can't always repeat the same things. So. But it's still bombastic, chorus-like. It works. music reminds you of Skyrim. A little bit, I suppose. I mean, from what I've played. Pardon me. Yeah, this is a long credits, ain't it? I don't think there's anything else in the end of this, so I mean, it's up to you guys. If that's it, that's pretty much it of the stream at this point. I'll probably work on a little bit of the Niflheim trials off screen, as long as I didn't screw myself over and this doesn't just suddenly reset on itself. But in any case, you guys want to stick around till the end of the stream, till the end of the trailer, you're welcome to do, credits, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, for all intents and purposes, thank you for watching. This will be the end of my run of God of War for now. I thank you again for Tyrek and those lurking around. I do thank you for watching. I hope I was able to keep things entertaining for you all. And I do wish you all a good rest of your night, morning, day, afternoon, evening, wherever it is in your neck of the woods. Take care. Oh, and if you wanted, as I mentioned in my last stream, if you guys are interested in catching up, if you, considering that you came in at the end of it, but if you wanted to see all the goings-ons and silly shenanigans and many attempts to try to get good at the game again from before all this, I have successfully uploaded all of my streams onto my YouTube channel of the same name, as well as them being saved as highlights on my Twitch channel. Most of everything from the beginning to up till Alfheim are also on there, but unfortunately I didn't quite save the footage between Alfheim and the dragon fight, so that's unfortunately lost to time, so my apologies there. But yeah, if you're interested, you're welcome to take a look at those videos, leave comments, likes, whatever you like. And like I said, if you're interested in watching this cat continue to goof around with video games, I will be doing streamings off and on. I don't have a schedule. I just, whenever I'm free and feel like playing a game, I'll just do it. But I've been doing it a lot lately, so you'll see me around on Twitch more often these days. Probably like the only days you probably won't see me is usually Fridays or Saturdays, depending on whether or not I'm doing anything after work on those days. Otherwise, Sundays and Thursdays will usually be me trying to catch up with games. Tuesdays, it's usually streams with my buddy Wrath of Autumn, as we play Dark Souls games, or right now the Diablo games, and pretty soon I'll be joining him, and even possibly another friend watching right now, on Division 2. As soon as I have enough money to purchase it. And time. But yeah, so if you're interested, I will be around. I have a backlog of other videos back to the days of The Witch's House to Dead Space 3. I unfortunately never uploaded anything from Dead Space 1, and I only got like a few vids for Dead Space 3. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil, a bunch of other games I've got on there. You're welcome to take a look if you like. But yeah, that's just wanted to put that up there. Anyways, later guys. Take care.
Atreus,
Okay.
are you ready?
Yeah, but I had the weirdest dream. Fimbulwinter was ending, and Thor came for us. Here at the house.
It was only a dream.
But it felt different. It felt real. It felt like the future.
Then we will worry about it tomorrow. Today, there are still things we can do. Come.
Okay, well, I didn't expect that. To just kind of end there, and then to suddenly come back with the boy saying he had a dream of the future. But that also means, yay, that means nothing got reset, so everything's still the same. Okay, well, then, now this is the end of my stream. Thing's still never going to calm down for some reason. This is now the end of my stream, and I wish you all a good rest of your, well, life. Take care, meow, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Peace!